Man, what's up? What's going on, man? Just want to just jump on here. Definitely want to just talk a little bit more about high value and high peak. Shout out to definitely Jason Black, man, for giving a real good concrete distinction of it. Now Kevin Samuel with the high value term. I think I did explain that a little bit more on my first kind of response video I did for him. And I just really want to touch more on that as well. Um, like I told people, like high value. I mean, it's talking about a person that's high productive in his individual financial status, but it's also is very wide range. I know in his wide range it's like $100,000 and beyond. But like I said, like high peak or producer, that's or like high peak and producers are different than what high value is. But high value is a wide range like high peak. It's a little bit more of a wide range, or basically in a woman's eyes, if that's her last options left, she's going to go for the most practical, highest value man or high peak man. That's where basically where that concept, that uh, that conception really came from forth. And high value is more of a general term. Like I told in my last example, my last video, I think I said high value is more a wide range. It's more of a if you are like I said, if you making, let's just say you're making $60,000, you have really no baggage, like no kids, you got really someone, let's say no debt or minimum to no debt, and you and your women or people around you, your women is making considerably lesser, like half of what you're making, and you will be considered high value in the eyes of that woman, or specifically because you one thing, you're making twice as much as she's making, and you have resources that she could probably use to better her life. So in a view, or basically what they'll consider high peak. High value can go from any age of women. High peak is basically for women that is trying to snag the man to carry her through life, or what a lot of people now say last options. Basically, if a woman is in her 30s or even her 40s and she found a man who's highly productive, high productive, um, and he making some type of means of financial individual income, suitable, stable, whatever. Say he's making 65K or 70K or even up to 80K, even 50K in some areas, in some realms. And she pretty much in her sexual market, she really don't have that leeway or leverage anymore to really attract a higher productive man. So now she's going to try to just snare the highest peak of a man that she can get. So if she is no more deserving of a man that makes 70K a year, and she basically has exerted all her options, and this man who's pretty much is productive, he's productive, he ain't how productive, but he's productive, um, is willing to basically take her off the market and provide for her. That's who she's going to choose. She's going to just go follow suit because he's the highest peaked earner or man that she could get. That's like pretty much the term last train leaving. High value is somebody who's just high value. It could go. It's a range of any woman in the age range of 18 to 65 or 70 or whatever. You're just dating somebody who's in your eyes is a high value guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I'm gonna use a little bit of my reference on it. There was this be a girl. She worked two jobs. I think she worked in the restaurant. She worked in a medical field, but I think she was a medical assistant. Medical assistant is like somebody who's almost like a CRN almost. I think she was making around 35,000, but she had two kids. She was a single mother with two kids. So 35,000 is not going to get you too much. So that's she had to get a second job. So I was helping her out a little bit. I wasn't nothing sexual or nothing like that. And I was helping her out. You know what I'm saying? I was already at that time, I was making like 55. Man, I was making around 50, 60,000. 55, between 55 and 60, over 60,000. So at the time, I was making that type of money. In her eyes, now she could probably thought she could do better, but in her situation, I was, I was, I was already considered high valued in her eyes because I was making more than what she was making. I was making twice what she was making, and I didn't have really no type of baggage or nothing. So in her eyes, it was practically I'm a high value guy. So she's going to talk to me and try to build a relationship because, like I said, a high value man, high peak producer man, they will gradually make your life easier. If you're a woman, you want to have an easy life. You want to be financially stable, concrete, so you want an easier life. And that's kind of what you thrive to get. Without a man, it's going to be very hard to maintain any type of financial credibility, stability. Um, like I said, if you single, there's a lot of women that struggle financially harder when they're single than rather marriage. And now, if you're with a man who's not productive or not really in any regard somebody that's high peaked or a producer, now if he's and maybe not even high value because he makes lesser than the woman, then yes, it's going to be a financial downfall and a hardship in that regard. Uh, but you won't be destitute because most men instinctively try to be surviving and taking care of what he needs to take care of. So you won't go into destitute. But if you find the wrong man, possibility could be very high as going to destitution and straight poverty. So yeah, it's many things to that. I mean, I could talk a little bit deeper on it, but like I said, you really want to get more of a concrete um, description of it. Definitely tune into Jason Black the business. I mean, definitely, he would do wonder. So, like I said, I'll give you guys a hit up real soon. All right, one.